Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing yet another TBR video, and we are in November, which is crazy. When I'm filming this, we're still in October, but this TBR is for November, and it's honestly insane that we're already at the end of the year. I can't even believe it. We're gonna do our November TBR. I'm kind of scared. In October, I wanted to read like fantasy books, and I read a bunch of different books. Like, I read some fantasy, some romance, dystopian, thriller. I read a bunch of different books. Actually, I probably wasn't supposed to say that because my October wrap-up hasn't even come out, but stay tuned for that, I guess, to see what I've read in October. But I did read a lot of different things in October, and November, I don't really know what the vibe is, like what type of books I want to read, so whatever the board game picks for us is what's going to be higher on my radar to read in November, so we'll see because I honestly have no clue. We're going to use our board game. We have the board game here, our little moving thing that I use, and then we have all the other cards and dice, all of that. So we're going to shuffle our cards. We have the yellow cards that we're going to shuffle. Then we have the green cards that we're gonna shuffle. I have to refill these soon because I think I'm like actually reading some of these, so I need to like switch them out. And then we have the dice. So as always, I'm gonna record on my phone so you guys can actually see the board and what I'm doing. We're gonna get our dice. We're gonna make our first roll, and it is 8. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got a card. So this card, if you haven't seen a TBR video before, it automatically picks a book for me. So this is just a book title that's already picked for me. Now we're going to do our second book for the TBR, and that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always skip this because I have no clue what JO is supposed to be. We have another card, so that's exciting. Let's keep going for number 3. This is 6. So 1, 2, 3, also skip. 4, 5, 6. Now we have a romance to pick from the Ziploc bag. Now we're going to go on to 4, I think it is. So that's 9. 1, 2, 3, skip that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have a thriller to pick. I don't really know how I feel about having a thriller to read in November, but we'll see what it ends up being. Now we're going to do our last pick for November. So it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a fantasy book we have to pick. So we have a kind of a wide variety. The only thing we didn't get was a TBR prompt, which is kind of sad because the TBR prompts are so fun because I get to kind of pick out of all my books. But first we're going to do the ones out of the Ziploc bag. So let's see. The first one we picked was a romance. So let's get a pink. I picked like 5. Okay, we're going to do this one. Oh, I picked 2. Which one did I pick? We'll do... Well, okay, we'll do this one. And let's see what this one is. Is it gonna... Oh, I think I know what it is just by the first word. If you guys can see, I think that says By a Thread by Lucy Score. I actually haven't picked this book out yet in my TBR like video. By a Thread by Lucy Score. I have heard such good things about this book. The only thing is it's so thick. Like, holding this right now is actually terrifying. It is about a little over 500 pages. That scares me so bad, especially because it's like just a romance book. But I have heard amazing things about this book. People have given this book like high 4 stars, even 5 stars. So I would be really excited to get into this book, but also like kind of just scared because it's so thick. I don't even know what this is about. Dominic was staring at me like he couldn't decide whether he loathed me or he wanted to French kiss me. So this is like an enemies to lovers. I see the deal here. This is a workplace romance, I think. I think it's also age gap. Like I said, don't really know much about it. I just know it's a very popular book, so I just got it, and yeah, that's why it's on my shelf. Next, we're gonna pick the thriller. So we have to pick a blue thing. Okay, we have one right here. If it could separate from the other one. Okay, it already like undid itself. The Predator. Okay, I don't have this book physically. I don't know if this is a thriller or not. I think this is a dark romance. Well, I don't know, because we picked it. So, Marcella, my best friend, she actually recently read this book, and I think she said that she really liked it, so I would be excited to get into this. Steph Bohr also said that she really liked this series. Maybe. It's just, like, very interesting to get... I don't think I'm going to be in the mood to be reading anything dark in November. I think I just want to pick up back on, like, my little cute romance reads. Since it's on my TBR, maybe I'll just need it for like a little, just to get through a quick read. I feel like it might just be like an easy read to get into, but I could be wrong. No clue. Again, I know nothing about this book. I just heard people say that it's good. I think the guy is like a serial killer and there's a romance in the book, or he's like a kidnapper. Actually, the predator does sound a little weird. Again, no clue what the book is about. But now we're gonna pick our fantasy paper out of here. We barely have any purples. I definitely have to fill this up again, but we're gonna try our best to pick one. There's no purples there. Okay, we have two. We're gonna pick this tiny one right here. This is very tiny. Uh-oh, I see what it says. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And I wanted to read this book in October so bad, but I just never got to it because, again, this is another thick book and the font in this book is like so tiny. So I am just kind of intimidated by this book, but also everyone is obsessed with this book. Everyone says the romance in this book is so good. It's compared to The Hunger Games a lot, I think. Yeah, I've only heard great things about this book. I've never heard anything bad. Literally the only reason I'm scared to get into it is because it's just such a thick book. I don't know, recently I've just been wanting to read like skinny, like small books. I did want to read it this month, so maybe I'll have the, what's it called? Inspiration, the motivation to read it in the next month, because I was supposed to read it in October. Wasn't supposed to, but I really wanted to. So maybe I'll just end up reading it in November. Who knows? Because it's on my TBR now. Okay, now we're going to go to our cards that we picked. We picked 2 different cards. Now I'm going to show you guys the first one. Ooh, what does that say? Oh, it was upside down, but it says The Naturals. A lot of these books were books that I was going to read in October. If you watched my reading vlog that I posted, I think it was right before this, I was going to read Powerless and The Naturals. Like, these were options that I was going to read in that video, and I never did. So now that they're going into my November TBR, there's honestly high hopes that I might be reading these books because I was going to read them in October, and I didn't. So maybe I'll just end up reading them in November. But this book, another very popular book. It's the first book in a mystery series, I think. It's compared to The Criminal Minds, just young adult. All these, it's like a group of kids that have these, like, I don't know if it's like powers or not. It says 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want, but it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. It sounds like so much fun. And just like very easy to read. This is also, it hasn't been on my TBR for a long time, but I got it because it was just getting popular. And yeah, a lot of these books are just because I got them or want to read them because they're like popular books. Yeah, we're adding this one to the TBR. Next, I don't know which one I just showed you guys. I have them, both the cards next to me, but we're just gonna go on to this one. Yeah, I don't think I showed, oh, okay, I see it, I read it. If Only I Had Told Her. This is the book that comes after If He Had Been With Me. One of the most heartbreaking books ever, and this book came out last year, I think around this time or at the beginning of this year, and I read If Only He Had Been With Me in February or March, around there, and then I got this book right after, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. Also, because I heard a lot of people say that this book wasn't really necessary. There's just like kind of random point of views in here that they didn't really need. Just a lot of opinions that it should have just ended in the last book and that this book wasn't necessary. I'm kind of interested just to obviously form my own opinion and to see what is actually talked about in this book, because I honestly have no clue. Again, I just got this book because I liked the first one and I was like, I want to know what this one's about. If only I told her that I loved her years ago, then I wouldn't be here now. Finn has always loved Autumn. She's not just the girl next door as his mother's best friend's daughter. She's his everything, but she's not his girlfriend. That's Sylvie, and Finn would never hurt her, so there's no way Autumn would know how he truly feels. Jack, Finn's best friend, isn't so sure. He's seen Finn and Autumn together. How could she not know? And how is he supposed to support and protect Finn when heartache seems inevitable? Autumn surrounds herself with books and wants to write her own destiny, but one doesn't always get a new chapter, and fate can be cruel to those in love. Told through 3 different perspectives, If Only I Had Told Her is a love story brimming with truth, tragedy, and the unexpected bonds that heal us. I honestly don't know what point of views are in here. I'm guessing it's his best friend, Jack, but does it say? Oh my god. Finn. In Finn's point of view, no, I don't think I could do this. Hold on. What other point of views are we getting? I'm guessing we get Jack. Maybe we get Autumn again? Yeah. Okay, I just found Autumn's page where hers starts. Oh, and I just found Jack. Okay, so it's told in Finn, Jack's, and Autumn's point of view. So that'll be interesting. I wonder why we need Jack's point of view. Like, what is Jack gonna be able to tell us? We'll see. if I read it, because now it's on my TBR. But that is our TBR for November. So let's go over the books that I picked. So the first book I picked was By a Thread by Lucy Score. I also just realized in the front it says a grumpy boss romantic comedy. I'm actually kind of excited for this one, but anyway, moving on. We have The Predator, which I almost forgot about, that I don't have the physical copy of. Again, don't know what that one's about. It's just on my Goodreads, and I know I want to read that one. Then we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, very popular fantasy book. We have The Naturals, book 1 in a 4-book series. And then If Only I Had Told Her, heartbreaking romance book that I don't know if I'll be able to handle in November. Like, this is such a wide range. Like, we have a cute little romance, enemies to lovers. We have fantasy, which with an enemies to lovers romance. We have kind of a mystery book. We have a heartbreaking book. And then we have like a dark romance. It's just so random, but we'll see if I get to this in November. This is my TBR, and yeah, I think I always say this, but I always love doing these videos because I'm just like a nerd. Like, I love reading. I love to, you know, get books higher on my radar to see the books that I'll possibly be reading in the next month. So yeah, I always love filming these videos. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you know when I post my next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!